Today, I'm going to be bringing to you number 4 of the 6 best values to have for 2026. And this one is incredible because the previous two, which was integrity and joy, really are about building your internal world. And this value is really going to be about connecting to your external world. And so you're not going to miss this because today's value that I'm going to be talking about is kindness, and I am bringing this to you from Puerto Varas, Chile, the gateway to Patagonia, as some call it. So stick around, you're gonna want to catch all of this. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So let's get started. Kindness. Why is this such an important value? First, let's talk about what kindness is not. Kindness is not niceness. And also, kindness is not weakness. There's a strength to kindness, a power in kindness, and it's so powerful that it is caring. It's measured and it's caring. So already, and I'm behind me, this is no, if you're watching on YouTube, which I highly recommend, Justin Wenck, Ph.D., check it out, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. Or be following me on the socials and you can see the pictures from this trip. But yeah, I'm in near Puerto Varas, Chile, on this amazing lake, and so I've got all this beautiful, lush greenery. It was raining earlier this morning. Sun's starting to come out, and actually in the shadow of two incredible volcanoes. One of them, I believe, is told is like the third most dangerous volcano in Chile, I believe. So yeah, just a really powerful, magical spot here on Earth, down in the southern hemisphere. Got to see some beautiful lakes and some amazing waterfalls with some of the, I don't know, most turquoise, beautiful green. So I'm very happy to be bringing this value to you from such an incredible place. And so kindness, as I said, is not niceness. Niceness is wanting to avoid conflict, wanting to just please people, be a real people pleaser. And nice people actually end up being kind of cruel and mean because the niceness isn't coming from a place of strength, it's coming from a place of fear and weakness of like, well, I want to be liked, I want to be included, and I'm going to do this for other people so that they'll do something for me. A real great book about this is called No More Mr. Nice Guy. Anybody can read it and get great messages. But it talks about this concept of having secret contracts of like, well, I'm gonna help somebody do this, and then I'm expecting them to do something in return. And when that something in return doesn't happen, eventually the resentment builds and builds and builds, and then boom, there's a snap and there's anger, or maybe there isn't a big snap, but there's all these sort of, yeah, just being resentful. It ends up being not so nice and absolutely not kind. And one of the things I sometimes like to use as a very extreme example between niceness and kindness is, say somebody's possibly about to get run over by a bus in the middle of the street. The kind person is going to yell at the person or even push them out of the way of the bus, because it's like, well, want this person to live. We want this person to be safe. The nice person is going to overthink it and be like, well, maybe I should ask for permission if it's okay to touch them. And well, I don't want to yell. It's not right to yell at people, especially if you don't know them. And boom, the person gets run over by the bus. So there's a power, there's a forcefulness, there's a willingness to tolerate discomfort when we're being kind. So kindness is not weakness, because kindness allows for the speaking of boundaries and also the speaking of what somebody wants. So it's very honest. It's in alignment with integrity and it's in alignment with joy. This is why I mentioned that kindness really is about connecting the world you want internally with the world you want externally. It's about how you communicate the truths and how you ensure that you can continue to create that state of joy internally and in around you when necessary. Because kindness allows you to say no, or allows you to say, this is what I want. But it's done with care. It's done with awareness of the other people around you, of the surroundings, of the context. And it allows there to be some negotiation and some willingness to cooperate, collaborate through communication. And so kindness really is such an amazing value that it's going to allow you to start to have a joyful interactions with other people, with your world, because kindness can also be of how you care for, the people and the things in your world, like, and also for yourself, like, what are you eating? What's the kind thing to eat? Allow some joy, but then also nourishment, because it's not about indulging. It's not about like, I'm just gonna do whatever feels good, because it's about going beyond and having the care for knowing the consequences and how things are going to work out and being skillful. And it's also about being kind to yourself when you're maybe not so perfect. And maybe you communicated something, in a harsher way than you could have. But being kind and going like, oh, I didn't do that so well. Maybe I could do that better, but not being harsh and be like, oh, I'm awful and I'm a really bad person because that person cried when I said that. Like, it's not about beating yourself up, but it's about going like, oh, okay, yeah, there's something that I could do a little bit differently. I did my best, and now that I've gone through that, I've learned, I've grown, and I can do better. That's that's kind to you, and then to the people you're going to encounter in the future, because things are going to be different in the future, and all you can do is do your best to interact, to proceed, to step with kindness. And so remember, kindness, it's not niceness. It's not just making everybody around you happy. In fact, sometimes you might disappoint people. But that is going to be the kind thing, because if you just please other people, you're not pleasing yourself. But it's also, not just doing what's only best for you, right? Because that's going to harm other people. And inevitably, if you harm others, the harm eventually, whether you're aware of it or not, comes back to you, because there really is no separation between you and me and other people. We're all very interconnected. And so being kind to others is being kind to yourself. Because if you're not kind, if you behave like an asshole to other people, inevitably more and more people are going to behave like assholes back to you, and that's going to feel harmful on levels that even if you don't recognize it, your body's going to recognize it, your brain's going to recognize it, and it's not going to work out well in the long run. In the short term, you might get some short-term gains, yet eventually, like anything that's not done with care, it's not done with kindness, it's going to cause degradation, it's going to cause harm, and it's going to cause a, yeah, it's going to be not good. It's going to be not so good. And you want things to be good because, again, remember, if you're keeping up with the values for 2026, if you want joy, you got to care. You got to put a little effort. It's awareness with care into being honest with where you're at and with what the surroundings are and with how the people are. And that can end up being things need to be done or said that don't seem great in the moment, but ultimately are best overall. Like a really good example is if a relationship just isn't working out, like it's not fun to go like, hey, I don't want to spend time with you anymore. But if you continue to be around somebody you don't want to be around, you're likely not going to be that nice to them. Or if you are, you're being incredibly mean to yourself, making yourself do something that is possibly harming you. And so to deliver that message of, hey, I don't think I want to show up to this, um, it's not the easiest thing. It's not the most fun, yet it's going to allow you to live your life. It allows the other person to live their life. And again, the kindness is in how you deliver the message. And sometimes not much needs to be said. Sometimes it can just be a simple no, no, thank you. If you don't want to spend time with somebody and they invite you, you just go, no, thank you. And this, I think this trick is in my book. I think I've talked about it other times. You don't have to give explanations. There doesn't have to be a why, because ultimately anything you want or don't want, there's actually no good reason. We like to create reasons of why this makes sense. None of it makes sense. Really, there's no logical explanation to anything in your experience. It's all pure desire that comes from wherever, because it can change. And we all have different desires. We all have different things we want to avoid, and it can change over time. So there really is no good reason, and you don't have to give a reason. It can just be, this is not what I want to do. And just as equally, it can be like, this is just what I want to do right now. And it's okay. Yet it can be, more kind to give an explanation or give a reason that is, in alignment with the culture, the values, or whatever of where you are, what you're doing, things like that. So it's not to say that you shouldn't. It's that you don't have to, and it doesn't have to be your true reason. And so you're like, oh, but this is integrity, but there can be some nuance of kindness, of how you deliver it, right? That allows there to be saving of face, right? You don't have to overly harm somebody just because you want something a different, there's there's kindness and politeness, yet it doesn't mean that you go without what you truly want or what you truly need to set a boundary and avoid. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on kindness? Like, is there a way that you could be more kind to yourself, to others, and to the world that you live in? And again, the world that you live in could just include, making your bed. Like, that's kind to your room and kind to you, because you get to have a more uplifted experience when you go and see a made bed. At least I experienced that. So yeah, what are some ways that you could be more kind? And yeah, how are you finding this tying in with the values of integrity and the values of joy? Because those really are very internal things that you have 100% control of. And now starting to take it out, this is how you take it out into the world. Like, I'm going to be caring, I'm going to be aware, and I'm going to be measured in how I interact with myself and my world in alignment with integrity and with joy. So been so happy, overjoyed, if you will, that I've gotten to share this fourth value of the six best values for 2026. And that means we have three more to go. And you are not going to want to miss them. Because again, if you really embody these values, you're going to see your life and your world shift in ways that you can only dream of, but it'll probably be even better than you can dream of. Um, so you are going to want to keep listening and learning what these values are and how to really embody them and shift your life with these values. And I've also got some bonus related topics related to values, because there's a lot of values that people think are great values, and I'm gonna probably do an episode on how those are garbage values. They are total shit, and I'll explain that, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So with that, let me know. Make sure you're following, and I'm going to be continuing to adventure here in Chile for another week and a half, and I'm already starting to get some things posted, and likely going to get some more videos posted in the future. So do make sure you're liking, following, subscribing, commenting, all that stuff. And yeah, gonna when we get back to the US, gonna start doing some more workshops and things like that. So do make sure that you're following and you're subscribing and all that stuff. And with that, thank you so much and a good day. Thanks for tuning in to Engineering Emotions and Energy with Justin Wenck, Ph.D. today's episode resonated with you, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. Your feedback not only supports the show, but also helps others find us and start their journey of emotional and energetic mastery. You can also help by sharing this podcast with someone you think will love it just as much as you do. Together, we're engineering more amazing lives.